Hey guys, how y'all doing? This is Melvin and Kimberly here with the SoulSense podcast. And what we're going to start doing is just more video content. I think we mentioned this before, maybe.
Yeah, I think we did.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we're going to do more video content, and the video content will be a little bit on the lighter side. Really, just kind of letting you guys in on some of our conversations that we have. Maybe do some just looks into our lives and just some of the stuff we talk about every day, and maybe get another opinion on it. So today,
Because we talk about random stuff, y'all. We do. And honestly, this is one of the, when me and Melvin first started talking and dating, this is what I really did like about us is that, like, I feel like the song Jill Scott, A Long Walk, and if anybody knows that song, she talks about how, like, her and this guy, they're taking this long walk and they're talking about so many different subjects. And this is what I feel like we do because, like, yes, we are Christians, but we talk about everything. And I think we basically talk like in the morning time when we're getting ready. I mean, we be having some of the randomest conversations. I don't even know it's randomest, but
that's all right. Randomness. I'm rolling with
randomness,
it.
okay?
So a lot of these conversations, Kimberly says that I am the devil's advocate.
Yes, he is the contrarian.
But I'm not trying to be a contrarian. I just look at things a little differently. Maybe I'm trying to be a
He
contrarian.
always trying to argue. Like, I
But
be
it's
like, what's right is right.
yeah, but it ain't always. But anyway, what we was talking about
Yesterday.
yesterday was talking about this. What is it called? Varsity Blues thing, right?
It's that scandal, the college, is it the college admissions scandal?
Yeah, yeah.
Operation Varsity Blues. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah. So college admission scandal. Let's break this down for you. So from what I understand is you have, they said what, 50 different
50
people
celebrities and CEOs.
that have been paying to get their kids into college, paying for different things from having somebody take the SAT for them, all the way to having people paying for them to paying coaches to be able to get them on these rowing teams or whatever else.
Photoshopping kids' faces on other athletes. And these kids don't even play the sport.
That was hilarious. So
He didn't know that. I had to tell him that yesterday.
So I was out of town, right? I was on a business trip, and so I'm only just hearing little snippets of this whole thing, and I keep seeing these two ladies on TV, on TV and on the different websites, news, and then aside from that, I'm seeing these random memes of like people of random athletes or different people. They had like a white dude's face on Michael Jordan doing a
The
layup.
dunk.
Yeah, and I didn't know what that was, and then I started talking to you, and you was like, "We just talking random." I'm like, "Yeah, this is crazy. They're photoshopping faces." I had no idea that all of this was happening.
But see, what you do is you'll come to the conversation confident, but don't even got all the stuff like, I ain't gonna be talking if I ain't got all the information.
That's not true.
Okay, but in this situation, I knew.
Okay, but so this is my take on it. I'm not super outraged. It wasn't no surprise to me. Like it, I'm surprised that I didn't know it was illegal. Honestly, I'm just being honest. I knew that you're not supposed to have somebody else take your test, but I mean, what's the difference in paying to get a building with your name on it? To if I get a building, I went to University of Tennessee. Let me tell you something. If I build a building there, my daughter, they daughters, and they daughters after them better be able to get into Tennessee with no problems. I don't care if they dumb as a box of rocks. Am I wrong?
Really?
Yes, really.
Okay, let's back up first. Back up, because even though it's been in the news, it's been a hot topic. Let's just give you just a little background of what has happened. There's, like we said, there's 50 celebrities and CEOs that have been arrested. I think it's arrested. And what has happened is there's a man, I don't forget his name, something Skinner or something like that, but he has a company, I believe, called The Key, where basically he serviced people who of privilege, and helping their kids get into school from uh basically when it comes to them taking their SAT, having someone to correct their stuff in it at the facility. He had proctors on payroll where, like, when you go in and actually take the test, like, they were in on it. So
What's
he
a
was
proctor? That's somebody who
like
give a
the
test.
test proctor. So you
Oh,
know when you go take the test and it's the person to make sure that you're not cheating. Well, that's the person,
they
and
call
they
proctors.
yeah, they call
Oh,
proctors. And so, like, he had certain sites that he would send these kids to where the proctors rather let them take it on their own. They rather let them take the test home and do it, or they actually change the answers for them. And like, I didn't take the SAT, I took the ACT, so I don't know what the high score is, but like these kids was getting like uber high, like it was guaranteed that they were going to get between this score or this score, like.
yeah.
And then they also had people where like Melvin said, the photoshopping. So like Aunt Becky from Full House, her real name is Lori Laughlin, something like Laughlin, and her daughter, she paid $500,000. Her daughter was photoshopped, taking a picture of crew or rowing or something like that. And the girl ain't never played a day in her life. She never have done that sport. Got into USC and stuff like that. So that's what we're talking about. And the people that you see the face of it has been Felicity Huffman, who was she's famous for her role in Desperate Housewives, and which really hurt me because I love that show. And then Aunt Becky, Aunt Becky.
Aunt Becky out here doing dirt.
So that's the background.
So it didn't tell. So how they got caught? This is another thing that I didn't know.
Okay, so I had saw, because you hear all this and it's like, okay, so what brought it to the end? So what I was looking at some research on it, looking at it or whatever, and apparently, so the way that they were able to get through with this, clearly they had to have, you got it? Clearly they had to have coaches, these college coaches, in on it, and athletic directors. I mean, like, a lot of people are in on this or whatever. So I think by mistake they sent an email about what was going on to a coach who happened to be an African American man, I believe, and he turned them in. He blew the whistle. Doop, 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 doop. He blew the whistle. And they done got the FBI investigating. And one of the things I was telling Melvin was, okay, I feel like they all should have, justice should be served. But one of the things that a lot of people are not even noticing is that if it's 50 people, why do we only see the faces of 2 people and those 2 people happen to be women?
Because these two rich dudes, now that is shady. Now,
Yes.
as a man, this is what I was thinking too, because like I don't even see their husbands except a little bit. They had
Exactly.
the Huffman guy up there, but
And he was in on it.
now listen, I would have to say, now I can't say with 100% certainty because I've never been in this situation, but I would have to think that if we were in a similar situation, that I would take the heat. We both don't got to go down, and I definitely ain't gonna leave you sitting out. So I'd take the heat for you.
Well, first off, we're not gonna do that.
But if,
Because like clearly you just said, if we built a building, all our kids, even if they
but I don't think that it had. I don't understand why it had to be so underhanded. Like, why do I gotta fake the scores and why do I gotta fake like I'm a? Listen, man, if I give 500, instead of giving this sneaky dude 500,000, just give it to the school and say, look, make it. Don't take nothing from no other kid. I know y'all accept 1,000 people into this program. I'm gonna give you $500,000. Make it 1,000. What I say? 1,000 people in this program. Make it 1,001. So then I don't have to take nothing from nobody else. Just look, 1,001. And now definitely, if my kid is smart enough, I'm just joking about the dumb as a box of rocks. But if I ain't joking, I still want, if I build a building, I think I should be able to have that. And I think the American people should understand that. Some of this is
No.
haterism.
No.
No, listen, some of this is haterism.
No.
People is not that outraged, man. People are not that outraged that this happened.
I'm not outraged.
I'm not saying you not. I'm not saying you don't have a valid thing, because you were a smart person. You got really good grades and you worked hard to get into college. Not so much on my behalf, but still, I think that a lot of people are mad because they can't do the same thing. Like, I understand wanting to give your children everything. My biggest problem with it is that, to me, it seems like they were pushing their kids in a direction that their kids really didn't want to go. It didn't seem like old girl wanted to go to college, but that didn't seem like it was stopping her from being successful. It seemed like she was doing her thing.
Yeah.
And probably after working and doing all of that, maybe she would be like, you know what, I need a little bit more education so I could go further. Because obviously she was driven. Because she could have just sat back and got fat off of mommy and daddy's money, but she was driven. So after she did that for a while, maybe she would have wanted to go to school. And I'm sure that with the same talent she used to procure all these different deals and all that stuff, she would have used that same talent to get herself into school legitimately. But if you're trying to push your kids in a direction, then, that's a problem. And then the other thing is that a lot of these Hollywood people, that's the thing that also got me, is a lot of these Hollywood people are the same people out here marching for, like, screaming about social justice and equality and all that kind of stuff. And it really, really shows me, and I can't say that because I don't know if they were like that or not, but what it shows me is that it's all lip service. That's what I say all the time, man. People out here, they're just doing this stuff because it's the thing to be outraged for the day.
Yeah. I think for me, like, I know, like, people of privilege do this, but I think what really burned me about it was the fact that, like, you're already privileged. Like, you're multimillionaires. Like, I want to say Lori Loughlin, her husband was the Massimo that used to be in Target.
So that was the same guy.
Yeah.
I know his name was so he was Massimo.
Yeah, like, okay. He's worth like $50 million and stuff like that. Her daughter has over 1 million subscribers on YouTube. I don't know how many she has on Instagram. Like, she has a for real live job with YouTube, like traveling, video shoots, doing, like, getting sponsorships, partnerships, all these things. And it's like, why do you have to go to the extreme of, like, it's not enough for you just to pay to get her in, because you can. Like, your daughter already has more resources than the average person, but it's not enough. You got to go and take a scholarship from somebody who probably have been working, like, over a decade or more. Like, why do that? Like, it's just not enough that you're privileged, because you're like, you have access to things that the average Joe does not have. And you took something from the average Joe. Now, you getting into college because you, like, rich, and because we know tons, I mean, like, even at UT, I mean, like, there were people who, they whole family went to the University of Tennessee, and I'm sure we went to school with folks who were big time alumni, giving tons of money. Okay, fine. You know what I'm saying? But, like, you don't went as far as to take a scholarship out of somebody else's, like,
but that is hilarious, though.
Like, but why?
It's messed up. It's messed up.
But why?
Because you got, a lot of times, people are just entitled, and you can have. And even if you didn't come from money, let's say you didn't grow up wealthy, and then all of a sudden you get all of this fame and attention and privileges. You can, if you're not careful, and you don't have to be rich for this to happen. Just on a serious note, you don't have to be rich for you to lose touch with reality like that. You can be just used to getting your way and feel like everything is just owed to you. in being entitled is a dangerous thing, because when it makes you not be able to accept defeat or accept hardship and be willing to struggle through things. And so I think that in their minds, they didn't feel like they were doing anything wrong. They felt like, I want my kid to have this, and this is what she's going to have. Now, I'm not going to make her work hard. I'm not going to make her whatever. I just want her to have this. And this is something that is just a reality of life now. Like, people are, and I don't think it's a new problem, but I think that it's something that it is a problem nonetheless. And like I said, I don't think it's a thing that is just socioeconomically unique. I don't know. It's not just for rich people. You can be dead broke and still be very entitled. Feel like the world owes you everything.
That's true. That's true.
And it's just unfortunately, you can mask that if you got money, because you can pay to make the world give you what you want.
Yeah.
But if you broke, you're gonna find yourself stuck out. But every once in a while, the universe aligns and it gives us comedy gold at the same time as delivering justice, because the internet is undefeated. And these memes that I've been seeing is hilarious.
The one that just had me chuckling was like, from the full house to the big house. I hollered. And then when you showed me that picture of that dude dunking on Michael Jordan body.
It's not funny, but it is funny.
It's like,
there's a serious aspect to it. But like, and then let's etch this up another level. Let's ratchet this up. The girl, after $500,000 going to jail, she's like, I'm not going to go back to school because I'm just so upset. And they're talking about, like, she's so upset, and every day she gets more and more upset. So she's not going to return back to university. That I would have a problem with. I
wouldn't, though. I think that she
you crazy.
Should've.
Farrah better take her tail to school.
Because I feel like with the investigate, she just stopped the inevitable. They gonna put her out.
They better put you out.
They gonna put her out.
I'm in jail. They better put you out.
Like, they have to put her out. Like,
they better put you out.
Nah.
They gonna have to look. They gonna have to drag me up out that thing. Y'all gonna have to no.
Your stuff on the curb.
They're gonna have to set me out. I'm going out just like I'm flipping over tables. Y'all ain't getting me out of here.
But she didn't even want to be there. Like, they have her own video on her YouTube videos talking about, like, I really like college to go to the parties and to socialize. And she was like, y'all already know I don't care about school. Like, they got her actually saying that. What?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, she should, I think, to me, that she needed to come out, because it's like, to me, it's like, okay, free up your spot for somebody who deserves it.
at least go to class a couple of days. Go and tutor some kid. Go and mentor somebody.
No.
Go do a ceremonial handing over of your position.
What people are saying, that these kids were not even, I'm not going to say that, but I will say that I've heard people say that they were idiots, basically. So it's like,
yeah, but they all haters, man. Like, all these people coming out y'all should have said all of this stuff before. This girl can't be an idiot. She making some things move and shake. She making money on her own. Really, her parents just ruined her life. She seemed to be doing all right by herself.
Because now,
at least for her, I don't know about all the other people.
Because here's the consequences, and we can wrap it up, I guess, if you want to. But here are the consequences. So, Aunt Becky had like an ongoing contract with Hallmark, where she's like, she has a show where she's the star. Don't know what it is. I don't watch Hallmark like that. But she has a standing contract where she does projects with them. Uh-huh. They have nixed that. And so I think that they also have nixed, so that means that the people on the show, they got to suffer as well. Then her daughter has all these collaborations, even had a collaboration with a palette in Sephora. They have nixed that. Mm-hmm. So it's like, now y'all can't even get work now. Now, I don't know about Felicity Huffman and her stuff.
On a serious level, as we wrap it up, I think it is funny. There's some comedic aspects to it, and and it's sensationalized. But like I said, it doesn't just take, this doesn't just happen for super rich people or whatever. I think as parents and as people in general, you gotta be careful of being afraid to put in the work and being afraid to take the chance. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, that's what it all boils down to. These kids may, if put out there and allowed to compete, they may have been able to excel. But then again, maybe they wouldn't. And that's okay. I think you got to be willing to fail, and you got to be willing to let your kids jump out there and try and fail. And as a father with daughters, I do think that I anticipate that being a difficult thing for me. You know, I don't ever want to see my babies be hurting, but I have to kind of deny that part of myself because that's just part of life. That's how your kids grow.
Yeah.
And ultimately, let's say that this thing would have gone under the radar and everything would have went smooth. It still would have it's still going to stunt their growth. And I think now we see it more than ever in places of power and people with voices and stuff like that. If you have not had to suffer or struggle with anything, and I don't mean you have had to been poor or anything like that, but if you have never had to fight and earn your way and you get things just handed to you and no one no one is intentional in letting you know that how privileged you are, you could grow up. It's the saying where somebody, you know, starts out on third base but their attitude is like they hit a triple. You know what I'm saying? It's like like you went through all the process to get there, and you have this kind of aura about yourself, like you earned your way up here. And we all got to remember that and fight against, you know, number one, us being like that, us raising our kids like that, but also glorifying that in other places. You know, people making decisions and doing things that really, I don't want to even get into all the craziness, but anyway, that's I think that's a bigger problem than what we even really can imagine. Is this idea of, number one, entitlement, and then number two, just the dangers that brings on the other end, the type of people that you produce. Especially if you're coming from an affluent background, you're going to have kids who are going to be used to that, and if what you create in them is not understanding what it means to work and struggle, then they won't realize how fortunate they are to be where they're at the end. But yeah.
Well, situation is critical.
Everybody looking pitiful.
Everybody looking pitiful.
So,
well, anyways, guys, well, I hope you guys enjoyed our little ramble. I mean, this is what we be doing, our banter. And so
maybe a little bit more heated, but
because I'd be like, why you always gotta be the devil's advocate? Like, it is what it is, man.
I just don't think nobody really mad about it. I don't that's it. We can close out on this part because I do want to talk about it. I don't think anybody is really mad about it. And it just burns me when I see people on TV and they're like, how could they? How could they they got all these people on TV, and like you said, what if it's 50 people, why is it only 2 people? Is they want to be outraged, but they don't want to hurt I guarantee you them 48 other people are people that if you get out there and try to put them on blast, it's going to be a problem for you. You know what I mean? So they taking the easiest targets to try to shame them and do whatever. Listen, man, they gave the old college try. You know, what they got? Yeah. Oh, hey. But people ain't that, man. And it really is not that, you know, it's not that big a deal, man. It's a lot more things going on in the world that we could be focusing on. But,
it's a ploy to distract us from what the real issue is.
I know, there's some serious things going on in the world. I mean,
like,
right now.
Meanwhile, there's been a whole shooting of, like, people over in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Like, it is a conspiracy theory.
That's what we're going to talk about next. We got to talk about that. But anyway, anything else?
Nope. That's all I got for you. And we'll catch you later.
and link, and
Oh,
subscribe.
that too. That too. Do all of that too. Those things.
Thanks.